What I wanted to say was when I lost my train of thought. There was how I didn't like my butt being wiped. In the same breath, when you're sitting on that toilet and the only hand that's working is, well, one hand, and it happens to be the wrong hand, say, because I was right-handed until all this happened. So you're not very familiar with your left hand. And, the challenge is that you're going to wipe your butt with your left hand. Now, I guess you can imagine what's going to happen. I mean, you're going to, you're going to have some problems, all right? You're going to have, a couple dirty hands, obviously. I mean, it takes a little practice, and I guess practice makes perfect, so there's going to be some unperfect scenarios, if you know what I'm saying. Now, you're in a bathroom, of course, and, there's a sink there and so on, so, any accident or whatever you have and you want to clean up, it's all cool in theory. But when you got a left hand that's somewhat soiled, and you don't have a right hand to help you wash your hand, you can see that there's a bit of a trauma there where you got a hand you want to wash and not a good way to do it. So yeah, see, one breath you don't want the nurse to help you, but in the next breath you don't want to shake anybody's hands because leave your mark, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, interesting thought, I guess. A couple of good things about GF Strong for the people that would actually use the stuff. I mean, they had the classroom stuff, and that was all cool. But they had stuff you could do at night. Now, they had TVs and all that deal, so if you wanted to zone out and spend your evening wasting your time watching a television, which, by that time you've pretty much seen everything you can see on television. Even now when I watch it, it's not out of interest that I'm going to see anything good. It's more of you want the background noise and you just don't want to think. So what you're doing is you're listening or barely watching what you already know or what you've already seen, which is very, very much not interesting at all. I like to cook. So they had a class in there where all us challenged people, we'd all show up in this kitchen, and there'd be a couple supervisors that could, they were helping us out, and they'd have some, something they were gonna cook, which was cool because, believe me, hospital food, it's not that great. I mean, GF Strong, the food was at least better than the hospital. I mean, it looked like they took some care and attention in trying to make it taste good, smell good, and look good. Hospital is I don't know who works that place, but they're not chefs, man. I don't know. Eating hospital food, you might as well eat cardboard. Hey, Mac, you want seconds? Yeah, sure. You don't remember what you ate. But at GF Strong, you got to cook. I mean, what was really cool is they offered these classes, and it's probably anywhere between 3 or 4 of us to 6 or 7 of us. We'd all show up, and they'd have all the ingredients, stuff to chop, and slice, dice, and clean vegetables, and make you wash your hands, and wash the dishes, put them in the dishwasher anyways, give them a rinse. But the food prep. So they would pick things like, I don't know, something had to come out of a can. So, believe me, it's challenging to open a can. Your hand doesn't work. One hand you need to steady and hold the can steady, and the other one you need to, or hold the can opener. And the other hand you gotta twisty little twisty thing that'll open the can. So you don't have, or I didn't have the ability to do either one. So there you are, like giving it your all, trying to open a can, and if you got a half a turn out of the deal, and you're passing it off to one of the other guys, because you're all out of steam at that point. They had cutting boards where they had these nails sticking out, which is kind of a cool idea, because you don't want to cut your fingers off. So the idea being, at least have your target, the tomato or the onion or whatever, stuck on a nail so it wouldn't slide off the cutting board. Thus, you don't need to have a supporting hand necessarily too close to the blade, because I mean, anytime you put your good hand close to a bad hand's blade, there's a chance that there's going to be a war going on, and somebody's going to shed some blood. So yeah, but it's kind of cool that you got to experience using a knife. They weren't very sharp, but you got the gist of it. Or you had to wash some vegetables or clean them, or in the end, whatever you created, you got to enjoy eating it. Like a midnight stack wasn't a midnight; it was like 7 or 8, 7, 6, 7. I don't know. Well, I don't remember what time it was. So I don't even know if we had. It was later. Yeah, we had. I guess you could have dinner before you went there. Of course, who would? So you get to make these meals up, and it gave you an opportunity to at least see things a little differently. Like there's kind of hope where if you did go home, or when you went home, you weren't going to be looking at a fridge full of food and be worried that you wouldn't be able to prep it. I mean, you got some exposure, and you got a little confidence using a knife, and heck, they're helping you to use your fork and all that deal, or use those foamy things I talked about earlier. And they made you like rinse dishes and put them in the dishwasher and reach into cupboards to grab spices and condiments and send you to the fridge to go get eggs, and then get you to crack them open and peel all the eggshells out of the bowl, because half of what went in the bowl was not supposed to be going in the bowl. You get the gist of it. That's kind of the idea. And then you'd spray down some cleaner and wash the tables, and so there's the cleanup part. So you know stuff you would have done like a while back and haven't done for a while, and the reality of what normal eating and food prep and cleanup and what all that was about. And you had some sort of sense of accomplishment when it was all done. You got to eat this cool meal, and it was kind of cool in that it wasn't hospital food. I mean, it was something you made. And the people around you, we weren't all talking about ourselves. They're talking about food for a change and how challenging it was, and it was a good venue. I enjoyed it. Actually, I went to all of them there. It was a weekly class, went every time. Another class I went to was we had an art department there. You can make silk ties, or I don't know, there's a million things. I ended up painting a T-shirt. You brought in your own T-shirt. You paid a couple bucks so that you could help with the kitty. They're using their supplies, and they have all this expertise. I mean, these people helping you there, they're all they have great backgrounds. I don't know if they're getting paid or they were volunteers. I suspect they were volunteers, but they would know how to paint, how to mix colors, how to do the crafts. They had a group there making sock monkeys. Yeah, sock monkeys. So there was sock monkeys going on, and me, I picked a T-shirt because I painted on a fish on it, and that's kind of cool. Over 3 or 4 or 5 times, or whatever it took. Part of that was tracing the design with some tracing paper, and then cutting the tracing paper so you had little pieces, and then using you cut out the pieces, and then with the blank, with all the pieces cut out, you would then take a marker no, actually, how do we do that again? No, we actually taped the blank with all the parts cut out of it onto the T-shirt, spread out on a board, and you got all these fabric paints, and you basically painted the holes. I mean, it was pretty cool. And you put different layers on, and for different colors and different textures, and in the end, after 2 or 3 times, you ended up with a T-shirt, which you had a part in building. It was cool. It was creative. It was fun. As for the sock monkeys, I could barely hold a brush. Never mind start sticking a needle into a sock. So I didn't go with that routine. Although it was pretty cool. It was very cool actually.